Welcome, everybody, to Jewish Business Secrets Podcast. Very excited here to bring you a very special guest. I have here Eyal Mehaber, who is the owner of EM Equity. They previously owned 5,000 real estate units, and they did an exit during the time of COVID for $400 million. They sold off most of their portfolio. They still retain a lot of it. And now they're going into this new venture, which is EM Equity, which you could see on his lovely cup. And Eyal, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for
Thank
joining.
you. Thank you for having me.
So I just want to get maybe a little bit about your story, and really, the point of this podcast is to inspire the next generation of people, of young entrepreneurs that are looking to make it, and to inspire them of what could be possible. So why don't you tell me a little bit about your story? How do you didn't come to $400 million of real estate overnight?
No, right,
Something
correct.
happened in between. So why don't you
Right,
tell us
right.
about it?
So I came to this country at age of 16 with a bag on my shoulder, no money, nothing. My father, my parents at the time, may the rest in peace. My father felt that I'll have a better opportunity in this country because it's very difficult to make a living in Israel. Did not speak English, nothing, zero. Maybe I know, hi, how are you? That's it. And I stayed with my uncle at the time, at the age of 16, in New York, Upper West Side. After 30 days, he sent me up to Rochester, New York. It's a yeshiva with the Chafetz Chaim. Basically, I stayed there for 6 months, more or less, to finish my high school, because I did not finish my high school yet. Now, keep in mind, I don't speak the language, okay? I have no friends. I'm over there. During the day, they have biblical studies, right, from 9 to 12, right? And then after 12, they have more of some professional stuff, to non-religious studies, right? Be math, okay, whatnot, okay? Mind you, that's Shakespeare. I was in a Shakespeare class.
And
Okay,
obviously, that's what led you to your real estate.
there you go.
So what was your first business? How did you get into real estate? How did
So
that?
wait, yeah, if I can finish my story. Every night I go upstairs in the dormitory. Every night for 4 hours straight, 4 hours, I would just listen to talk radio in English and write words down. That's how I learned the language.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's for me, failure is not an option. I'm from Israel, so I understand about you can't fail. Failure is like death, right? We can't fail. So at the end of the day, I came back down to New York. Okay, I had a store called Tower Copy. We did copies, 3 cent copies to people for a few years. I got married in New York, and I got involved in commodities. I lost a lot of money over there. I thought I can make a killing. Did not make it. And at the time, my wife, 35 years still going strong, she's like, you know what? I don't like New York. It's too cold. We gotta make a move. I gotta change. I need Florida. I don't like it here. She gets sick every winter. She gets sick. She keep Jewish woman. You know what they do best, right?
I don't
Nag.
want to. I don't want to say it.
They nag. It's okay. They're still nagging me. Okay. So I want to go. I want South Florida. I want South Florida. I want South Florida. At the end of the day, I'm moved to South Florida, and that's where the old magic, everything started here.
Nice. So tell me about that magic. What was your? How did you get into real estate? How did you fall into it? What did your first deal look like? What did?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So we fought. Right. So I took my. I realized that commodities not making money. I'm not gonna make a living from stocks or commodity. I'm a failure on that. It's okay. You don't make it in one thing, you can try something else. It doesn't mean that you cannot do it, right? So I took my license to become a realtor, to sell houses. Okay. Here I sell houses in Boca Raton. Okay. Company called Arvida. And I'll go to a listing, right? To pick up a listing for $2 million listing for some old man, okay, 90 years old man, and the guy is moving very, very slowly, okay. Show me the garage. This is the garage, and this is where the lights. I'm like, get out of here. It's not for me. Not for me. I can't do it. I need action. Yes. At the time, my wife had a dear friend. She tells her, whatever you do, no matter what you do not do residential, do commercial. Because in commercial, your check can be $50,000, $75,000, $100,000, not $5,000. You're better off in commercial because the rewards are bigger and for the same amount of work. Why not do commercial? So I got involved with a company down in Hallandale and Dixie, Hallandale, Florida. I went to a company, 50 agents literally, okay, drinking a cup of coffee. Lazy. Not everybody, but I would say the majority, okay? And basically, I started from there. That's where I started. And again, it was another big challenge because I don't know what am I doing here, right? I used to go back at night, every night, from 6 to 10 p.m., to hit the phone, call. At the time, if you remember correctly, we're going back maybe 30 years ago even, okay? 28 years ago, there was no cell phone, very limited, no social media, no YouTube, okay? How do you get your listing? Call. From a local paper called Sun Sentinel. It's still here, Sun Sentinel. On the back of the paper, classified ad for by landlord, not for sale, but for rent. Looking to rent a one-bedroom apartment, $500, whatever, two-bedroom, right? So I will call the seller at nighttime because during daytime you can catch them. It's not cell phone, it's home phone. And I'll make an appointment for the next day to go meet with them and to take listing. Tell them I have a buyer for you. Sign over here. If I get you your price, pay me commission.
Mm-hmm. So you're making your inroads. You're making your inroads into these are commercial real estate properties. So
Correct. So I used to go. Yeah, my wife used to work in Boca Raton, and I used to go door to door, hotel to hotel, and Fort Lauderdale, Bay Sea. During that time, going back 30 years ago, 28 years ago, there was no high rises, all small motel, right? I used to go from one door to another, during the daytime, mind you, okay? Knock on door and talk to the seller, potential guy. Listen, I have a buyer for you. Would you mind if I bring you a buyer? What price would you entertain? At some point, I went to see my wife in the Boca office. She was working for another company that incidentally didn't take me, which is a good thing, okay, for mortgages. I came in, water dripping on me, a lot of water, because what am I doing all day? I'm boots, just walking, boots on the ground, just knocking on doors, okay, asking for listing. That's during the daytime. Nighttime, I make a phone call.
Well. So when did you transition from that business
To become an owner.
An investor? Yeah.
Correct. So at the time, okay, and by the way, I had every week on Tuesday, 9 o'clock, we have a meeting, and all my listing, everybody put their listing on the board. I would say 50 agents, 10 listing average, at 9 out of 10 are mine listing. And by the way, every listing overpriced by 20%. They sold every single listing because those people they're afraid to make the phone call. They don't mind taking out buyers, okay? So they sold all my listing. So at the time, okay, I met my first partner. He came to the office, and on the wall, you see my name, top agent, Eyal Mehaber, top agent, 1998. Eyal Mehaber, top agent, 1999. Eyal Mehaber, top selling agent, 2000. So he tell the receptionist, keep in mind the 50 agent in the office, doing nothing. He tell the receptionist, I want him on the wall. So you can have him. Why not? He's busy. He wait for me 4 straight hours. Okay? Came in, he say, you know what? He came to my office. Well, what do you want to buy? I say, tell me, I have $2 million. He show me bank statement, $2 million. And say, show me, what do you have for me? I say, okay, let me go to the computer. Say, no. What do you have in your packet? Off market listing. I show him a few things. Sure enough, he went out and he put some contracts on some property. A year down the road, say, you know what? Come with me. Don't take the commission home. Become a principal. Be part of the deal. But my wife is I owe her a lot because At the end of the day, I will sell. Let's say I have 200 units and I sell it for like whatever $10 million, right, at a time, right? South Florida. I make commission check maybe 50,000, 75,000. Um, the the buyer in New York, which mostly a lot of Jewish people, okay, very very smart people, okay, it still exists, okay. They'll come down here and they'll just buy the property, sight and scene. They flip it the same year, $2 million profit.
Wow.
My wife was like, "Are you kidding me? You want to make 200,000? I want to make $2 million. I want to
Right.
make $2 million."
Right.
But I do want to emphasize, okay, that my first year, very difficult, extremely difficult, zero money, okay, nothing. I lived off my credit card, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Then my first check was about $255,000.
Wow. Wow.
After that, everything fell into place. Thank God.
So, what advice would you give?
Exactly, I'm getting to it. So you know what? You got to have the fire in the belly. Fire in the belly, and you have to be able to go the extra mile. And
Mm,
unfortunately, a lot of young guys now, they're very lazy, okay? Or they're not, I don't know, I don't want to use the word lazy. Maybe they're not taught right.
mm,
They don't have what it takes, okay? And by the way, for that reason alone, we have an Instagram channel. That's how you found me, okay? And I feel like it's my calling to give back to the world.
mm.
Does that make sense? Pay it forward.
Yeah.
I'm not, people ask me how much do you want. I don't want anything. I don't want any money. Just do me a favor. I don't want to lose on the deal. DM me. Send me the deal that you're buying. Not for me. I can make sure I don't want you to lose. With me, nobody's going to lose money because we are very careful while we give advice to people when they want to buy property.
Do you still have the brokerage part of the business, or you're out of
No,
brokerage?
I don't have books. No,
No.
my wife is
No.
she's a broker, but we don't really use that now.
Right.
I gave it up years ago.
So, is there room still for young guys to get into the real estate business?
Let me tell you one thing, okay? There is gold in the street. Go pick it up. How about that?
Right.
Is it easy? No. If this is easy, anybody will do it. Every schmuck will do it. Okay, it's not easy, but you have to have that fire in the belly. You have to have the perseverance. You have to have the willingness to go the extra mile.
Mm.
Forget about 9 to 5. Okay, and check your ego at the door. Even now, I check my ego at the door.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Well, one really very very important information. Okay, if the audience can take from, okay? You always want to surround yourself with somebody smarter than you. If you're gonna be in the same level, that's what we call it next level. Me, when I meet people, and I think that they're gonna be a waste of my time, after 2 minutes, I'm out of here. I don't have time because one thing you don't have in this life: time. Time goes by very quickly. So it's extremely important, okay? Whether it's your employee, right? Your friends, always be with smarter people. You want to be the stupidest man in the room. And by the way, I did not make it up, okay? I'm taking advice from somebody much billionaire people, okay? That's what I thought. I learned all my experience.
So, I want to tell you me personally, okay?
Please, I would like to hear about yourself too. Yeah.
Me personally, I run a few successful businesses. I'm making a nice living. But if I stop pushing my ball forward for 1 month, everything starts to slow down. And that's being a business owner. I'm 36 years old, and I
God
don't
bless
want.
you. Yeah. By the way, I
I'm,
read your content. Tremendous. You give it out to the world. I'm really proud of you.
thank you. Thank you. How old are you?
I'm old.
You're old?
57.
So it's nice to be called young once in a while, you
Of course.
know?
Of course.
Um, I like it when the guys call me the young guy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm old already. I'm
Even you're a
30.
teenager. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I know that the big money is in the long term money is in real estate. Meaning,
Right.
I left my family business 8 years ago, 9 years ago, and I've been in survival mode for 9 years, just trying to pay my bills, give tzedakah, you know,
God bless. God bless.
put a little bit of
Do the
money
right thing.
away.
Be a good Jew.
Yeah, be a good Jew. Put a little bit of money away, live comfortably, give my family what they need. And so it's been all short term. Now I want to look long term. I want to, I don't want to be, I don't want to be 60 years old and be hustling at the trade show conferences selling $15,000-$20,000 contracts. I don't want to be doing that.
Right.
I want to go to the next level. So
With me, you're going to the next level, okay? You're going to keep in touch with me.
okay.
I'm taking you to the next level.
Amen. Amen. Thank you. So I tried, you mentioned reaching out to guys that are, bigger than you or smarter than you. One of the reasons why I do this podcast is because it gives me access to guys like yourself and that I could sit with for an hour, I could schmooze with. So I want to be in real estate. I want to be in real estate for a few years now. Okay. And I have the way that I look at it, I have three options. I could either take the money that I saved up on my own and I could buy smaller units, triplexes, quadruplexes, fiveplexes. Okay, that's option number one. Option number two is I could go and raise money and buy bigger deals. Let's say 16 unit, 32 unit buildings, and do it on my own and raise money. Or option number three is partner with somebody that's been doing it for, let's say 5 years, 10 years. He's worked at a company as the number two at a company, and now he wants to go out on his own. And
Right.
I have a lot of connections to money. Let him run the real estate and use his expertise that he's garnered over the years, and let me use my expertise in relationship building. And I bring the money and the investors, and I partner with him like that. Which one of those would you advise?
So I would advise here's the thing, okay? And I'm going to go back a little bit. People ask me 10 unit, 20 unit. And I'll give you an example, okay? Looking at 20 unit, Hollywood, Miami, whatever, 20 units, you want to charge in $2.2 million.
Yeah,
20 unit, $2.2 million, average rent is $1,300, $1,350. Do you think it's worth $2.2 million?
you have to run the numbers.
It's not. I don't have to run anything. Why? 2.2 million. I always use the 1% rule. If I'm paying $2.2 million, I want to get rent at least $2,000 a month.
Right.
Bottom line, okay. My rent here is $1,350. So, but don't worry, the seller is very cute, okay. Oh, you're gonna get to $2,000. What do you mean? You can get $1,900 average rent eventually. Eventually. Oh, so let me understand, Mr. Seller. I'm going to work for free for the next 2 years to get it. Yes, basically so. Not good. That's a typical property right now for sale in South Florida all day long. 5 unit, 20 unit, 25 unit, okay, where the asking price is really the selling price once
Right.
I'm done with the property. That's not going to happen, okay. Now,
Right.
when we look at the bigger deal, for example, okay, tomorrow we're looking at 400 units in a plantation, okay, some $68 million, okay, another 300 in Jacksonville. Okay, so when you look at the bigger deal, the 1% rules do apply. Make
Why?
sense?
What are you picking up units for in there? You're picking them up
But
for
for
100.
example, right, for example, they're asking 170 a door for unit. 170 a door, but my average rent is pushing $1,700 right now. Not
Mm-hmm.
when I'm done with that. When I'm done with that, my average rent is going to go to 2,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So imagine buying this. Imagine the same formula for 20 units for something 400 unit. Now I'm going to pay $90 million for it. Does that make sense? Numbers don't work. You got to buy it. The 1% rule. If people follow the 1% rule, they're not going to lose. Here's the problem. People right now, what they do, they're looking at cap rate. I don't care about cap rate. Ask me why.
Why? Why
Seller's
don't
going to show you, right, seller going to show you X amount of income with a 30% expenses. Remember, the lower the expenses, the bigger the NOI. You
Right.
cannot run a community 2 or 300 unit under 50% expenses. You cannot. Okay? And even then, you gotta be very careful because insurance premium, stuff like that. Okay? So we look at the income, we do our own underwriting. And so for me, okay, I prefer to do I buy a 2 cap rate, 3 cap rate, but I want to make sure I'm paying lower. My basis is that much low price per door.
But you didn't start with 300 unit deals.
No, I did not. I started with duplex.
See, this is where all of the real estate gurus,
I understand. So here's my
this is where they all break down. This is where it gets messed up. is the guys that are starting out fresh. I don't know if I could raise, if you ask me how much money I could raise, Eyal, I'll tell you, I think I could raise at least $1 million on my first deal. So that means that I could buy $3 million worth of property with $1 million. Okay. So if you gave me the best 300 unit deal property
You
that
can,
ever,
right.
I can't
No,
find
you
the
can
10.
partner up. No, you can give the if the down payment for the 300 units $10 million, it can be 10% of the deal, for example.
Say it again.
Let's say 300 unit is we need $10 million down payment, right? Your
Yeah,
$1 million will buy you 10% equity in the deal.
exactly. So that's
That's not
where,
bad either. That's not bad. If there is meat in the bone, right? Now, on the other side, if you want to buy something for $3 million, now you're going to buy something in Panama City?
no, because the property in Panama does not appreciate, it depreciates.
How
The,
about
pa-
it?
the Panamanian banking system does not recognize real estate as a monetary instrument. So let's say you increase your NOI on your building in Panama by $100,000, and you go to the bank and you say, my NOI is up $100,000. In the United States, they'll give you a loan, another million or whatever it is dollars based on your NOI. Here, they say, congratulations, go buy a Mercedes. What do you want
Right.
from me?
Right.
They don't, so there's no, all this real estate that you see in the back, it's only worth the brick and mortar. That's
Wow.
all. That's all it's worth.
Don't they
And
have the 20 years the tax exempt in Panama?
yeah, but who cares if the if you improve the building, you can't refinance, and it's just a rental business. That's all it is. Your cost of rental is 1,000. You rent it for 2,000. It's a cash flow business. That's it. There's no appreciation. There's no appreciation
So where
of
would
the.
you buy? You'll come to the state?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
in state?
See, that's the $1 million. That's the $10 million question. Is the United States is huge. So
Well,
where?
for once, you can go Miami to Panama City is close, right?
So I look at what are the two closest places. I have Miami and I have Texas. Those are the two. Those are the two direct flights.
Beautiful.
3 hours away.
Beautiful. Beautiful, right.
You
By the way,
know.
I was in Panama about 15 years ago.
Well,
One thing,
you have a friend now in Panama that you
thank
could
you.
come
One thing I learned about Panama City, it's 90 degrees every single day.
every day. Every
Every
day.
day. It doesn't go down. Like I
Doesn't,
like it.
doesn't go down.
Right, right.
It's better than New York. Doesn't go
Right.
down.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
No, but
that's
seriously, I think Miami and Texas, very good markets.
So that's the problem is that guys like you already paid your bills, you already paid your dues, you already gone to a level where you're at your 300 unit, where you feel comfortable, where you could pick up the phone and find $10 million. And you have guys that trust you already that will put down $10 million on your deals. But the guys that are trying to break into the market, they don't have that trust.
You can start small. That's okay.
So hang on. So when I said I want to buy 16 32 unit deals, you say, well, you can't make money there.
1 second. No, you can't make money if you give them what they're asking. You need to look at many deals, make lowball offers. You don't want to overpay. If you overpay, okay, that's it. You can't see your money back. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna have cash flow, but now the way the interest rates are, I don't think you will. And after you close, bye seller. They don't know about you. It's a big mistake a lot of first-time investors do because they fell into a trap. I mean, I've seen 20 unit, 50 unit, 10 unit deal, 25 unit deal. Asking price is my selling price when
Meaning
I'm done with that.
after you've renovated and after you've
And it's
stabilized.
not even stable. Correct.
Right.
I rather put the money in CD and waited for the opportunity.
So you're saying you can make money on the 20 unit deals, but you
You gotta
have
buy it right. You have to
you got to buy right.
Right.
So you're saying the 1% rule. If you're what's it called? The 1% rule is what? Explain it again.
Again, if it's 20 unit asking $2.2 million, right? 220 a door, right? And I'm getting rent of about $1,200, $1,300. Okay, I'm losing money.
You're losing money.
220,000 per door. Excuse me. Yes.
Who's helping you there in your office?
We have over here Joy Laser. Is
Yeah.
my producer, my everything.
He's
great.
good. He's good.
Yeah, I have a whole team. But really, the idea is you don't want to overpay because that's a big. I'd rather you go buy a car, go buy a Ferrari and sell it. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna enjoy it. You lose a little bit. In real estate, by the way, it's not liquid, not liquid. What does it mean? Okay, you're stuck with that. So we always think when we go into a contract, okay, the number one thing. Think of it like that. Macy's fireworks, July 4th weekend. Excuse me, yeah, July 4th fireworks, right?
Yeah.
Macy's. What do you think they do the following day after on July 5th? They're getting ready. It's my birthday, by the way. They're getting ready for the following year fireworks, right?
Right.
The same thing here. When we buy property, day one, I'm getting ready for a refi event, 12 months down the road or 24 months down the road from day one, okay? Or for selling, okay, to sell it. So I need to make sure my number works, okay? Because I need to secure the idea that the next buyer will pay X amount of money once I'm done with the property.
You say you mentioned the duplex. You know who Grant Cardone is?
Of course.
So Grant strongly advises against buying anything below 16 units ever.
I disagree. You can buy 2 units. Listen. It's like saying, if the market is a bad economy, do I buy real estate or do I buy real estate when the market goes up? It's like Bitcoin. You always buy in a pullback. If you get tomorrow a deal and you can make a kill on it, whether it's 2 units, 3 units, 4 units, okay, you do it and then you wait for the opportunity to buy something bigger, okay. But I think 200 units makes sense. 300 units makes sense. You may want to partner up with somebody bigger, makes sense, and be part of a big community. That's because number one, you're not going to lose, okay, because already you're in good hand, okay, and that person also put his own money, okay, sign on the loan, etc., etc. And number two, you're part of 300 unit complex now. Now, 16 unit is good if you buy it right.
What unit is good?
16 is good. Net 20, it's all good. It's a function of money. It's a function of dollar and cents. You don't want to overpay.
Can you retire? Can you retire today?
I can retire today.
Based on your cash flow, or based on your future appreciation, or based on what?
All the above. But I'm not. You know what? It's not about retiring. It's about. I feel like my calling. I'm trying to. I want to go to the next level. We want to own about 20,000 units. So, because look, when I see a property, for us, it's like an art. What can I do with that? And you know what? I kid you not. Okay, when we're done with we buy a property, right? We're done with the property. We stabilize it. We command the highest rent in its class in the neighborhood.
Mm.
And you know why? Because we have good manager. My property manager is not just a regular property manager. Number one, he's got equity in the deal. Number two, okay, they are original mentality. When you have a original mentality, you don't sit on your ass, okay, collect rent. Collecting rent, that's not property management. Property management is create value in the market. Raising rent. What's your next move? Where is business coming from? Lowering expenses. Getting bids.
Do you think that I'm crazy since I live in Panama and I want to invest in real estate in the States and be in that business?
Absolutely not. No, we are crazy.
Not unreasonable, no?
You're fine. There's no issue. But you gotta make sure you have boots on the ground. If you partner up with somebody, make sure they know what they're doing, because I don't want to lose. And that's another thing. We don't have third-party management. I'll give you an example, okay? To rehab 200 units, right, apartment building, community, if I give it to third-party management, we're talking about 25,000 average per door to rehab it. I do it for under 10. You understand? And I pass on the serving to our friends, family, partners, whoever with us.
When you're raising money, you're raising it now from still friends and family, or you're raising it from institutions? Where are you raising your money from?
All the above.
All the above.
Right.
What's your average investor? 250,000, a million?
250 to a million.
Uh-huh. And who does the money raising? You?
We have a team. At the end of the day, they want to talk to me. I'm the sponsor. They want to make sure I'm boots on the ground. And look, are you familiar with a bank called Greystone?
Sure.
Are they big?
One of the biggest.
Thank you very much. I have a letter from the president, okay, to me. Okay, during COVID, I was one of the only one that actually I was paid month in, month out. I never missed a payment.
Mm.
They love us. Okay, look, you can make money and lose money, and of course, we all lost money in our time. Okay, I'm not gonna give you bullshit, Actually, I lost money for partnering around with bad people. Okay, that's another conversation. But to keep your name, to have a good name, that's very difficult. Okay, you want to make sure, okay, that you have a good name out there, because you can fix your name. And for us, it's really important, okay, that we have a good name. That's just one example, Greystone. The list goes on.
So my asset that I have is I'm good at building relationships. I have a lot of connections because of my social media.
We should talk after the show. Yes,
What's that?
we should talk after the show. I like it. I like what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Okay, I have I have a good name. I'm straight in business. I've been in business for my whole life. People trust me, and I do think that I could raise, you know, nice amounts of money if I really focused on it. That's my asset when it
I
comes to.
think that's what you want to. You know what? Well, the more I think about it, I'm thinking about you. That's what you want to do. Partner up with somebody strong. Okay, raise the money, and don't forget about commission. You want part of the deal.
Right. So okay, so let me share with you. This is where I end up getting stuck. Okay, let's
Please.
let's say I blow it out of the water and I raise $10 million for a guy's deal. Okay. Usually, guys don't give more than 2% for money that you're raising. So you're raising $10 million to make 200 grand. I'm better off focusing on my main business. I make much more money
I tell
than
you what. I make a deal with you. Okay. After the show, bring me $10 million. I'll make you a partner. At least 1/3. You like that?
at
I'm
least one.
not giving you 200,000. I'm giving you 30% in the deal. You like
Okay,
that?
I do like it.
But I tell you what, I'm a tough guy. I'm looking for execution. Okay, I'm looking for real people with money. I black my if I talk to somebody there and they tell me bullshit, I black the number. I get a lot of BS out there. Okay, because when I look our deal, when I bring a deal to a table, right? You should know I already did my due diligence. I already toured the property. I did everything. I did everything that needs to be done to make sure the deal makes sense. Okay, I got term sheets. Okay. The only reason why a person not gonna give me money, he doesn't have the money. That's why. Because we know I'm not giving stuff. I'm not telling the guy. Do you think it makes sense? No. Obviously, they have to do their own due diligence. Okay, but I know already in advance. Okay, the deal makes sense.
That's where you're buying. You're buying in South Florida.
No, we're buying anyway in Florida. South
And
Florida is already played out. Yeah, we buy. Yeah. I am looking at 400 unit in Plantation. Actually, we're going tomorrow on a tour.
so here's a question for you. How do you have the guts? How do you have the guts? Let's say you find this 400 unit deal, okay? What are they asking for the 400 unit deal?
70 mil.
70 million. So you're going to have to put down $25 million on that deal.
Uh-huh.
Plus probably another 10 million in rehab.
No, altogether about 22. It's everything included.
Okay. So you're going to have to raise 22 million.
Oh, they're about, yeah.
How do you have the guts?
Well, so number one, okay, that my $22 million, how much can I make on it? Am I going to make it 10% or am I going to double my money? That's number one. So if I don't think I can double my money close to 2x, again, C property. A property, I don't know if you know the difference, right?
Yeah.
A property that you can hold on to it for like a good 5 years, 7 years, okay? And it's a very slow moving vehicle, but it's institutional quality. A property, it's like a CD.
Right.
When it comes to B and C property, I need to make sure, okay, there is going to be a good value within the next 2 or 3 years, not 10 years. So my lender, my broker, he referred to me as a cowboy. I put non-refundable, $500,000, million, non-refundable.
So
And
that's what I'm saying.
close.
How do you have the guts to put down a non-refundable?
In 25 years in business, thank God, we lost zero money. We came very close. Okay? But no, we always able to pull a rabbit out of the.
So that's my question. How do you have the guts? You put down a $500,000 non-refundable on a deal, and now you're on the hook to raise $22 million.
Right. Number one, you can't put your last $500,000, right? Number one.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. Number two, okay, you signed the LOI. There is an LOI process. Okay, you don't put the money day one. Okay, there is 30 days before you do a contract, okay? During that time, okay, I feel around the market and I know already I want to be able to raise at least 60% of the money before I put non-refundable during that 30 days. There's a lot of things going into it, you know?
So you're getting on the phone, you're calling your investors, you're seeing what
Yes,
they're
I know what they're looking for.
you're seeing you see what their appetite is for
Yes,
invest.
exactly.
Right,
Remember, it's not my first radio, you know?
right, right. This has been yeah, this has been fun. This has been really fun. I
When you come to Miami,
I need to make it out to Miami.
please come.
I
God,
will.
there's so many nice, beautiful kosher restaurants here, okay? My
I've been
pleasure.
there.
I want to take you to a nice dinner.
That would be great. I was there a few weeks ago, and I plan to come in the next month or so. And I would love to go for dinner with you and on there. Thank you, Eyal, for joining the show today. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And if anybody wants to invest in Eyal's deals, please reach out to him. Please reach out. Where could they find you, Eyal? On
They can
Instagram?
find me they can email me at emequity.com.
emequity.com. Okay.
em@emequity.com.
em@emequity.com. Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You're the best.